Yo, what is up, guys? Chase Arevalo talking to you from Boca Raton, Florida. In this one, guys, I'm so pumped to be here. We are reviewing part 2 of Alcaraz versus Rublev. Let's get straight into it. Let's go. Okay, so notice how he's landing about a foot inside the baseline. Okay, he's one of the more explosive guys out there. So pay attention to where you're landing, okay? If you're less athletic than Alcaraz and you don't explode from the ground as much and you're shorter than Alcaraz, you probably shouldn't be landing farther in the court than Alcaraz. It just doesn't really make sense, okay? So a lot of times coaches might teach you to land so far in front in the court, okay? And there's a time and place to work on that. But right now, make sure that you're not landing too far in on the court. It should be a step or two into the court. It doesn't need to be 3 feet, 4 feet inside. All right, let's continue. Okay, so here's one tactical thing you can implement right now on your return that you can copy from Andre Rublev. Okay, it's very simple. You're going to take a look at after he split steps. Look, Alcaraz is going to serve it to his backhand. Okay, Alcaraz is going to be serving it right here to his backhand. He split steps. Now, notice how Rublev, what he does is he just turns. He's just turning and getting the racket to be right here to the side. So the strings are facing forward. He's not doing a full take back. Okay, his elbows are basically both straight or almost straight, and he's just turning from his shoulders. So he turns, tip of the racket is pointing more towards the side, okay, and his strings are facing forward. Now, from there, he's going to push off his left leg, and he's going to go straight forward. He's not going to do a big take back. You see how he literally does no take back. Literally zero take back from that initial turn to the side. So that's something you can replicate. Turn to the side, okay? Then literally go directly forward to the ball. You don't need any more juice from it. All the juice will come from your legs, okay? And push your body weight going forward. That will literally help you tremendously today, right now, if you apply it. Here's one thing that you can copy from Andre Rublev on your backhand on the run. Okay, it's very simple. Either a neutral ball or defensive ball. It's very simple. I want you to run, plant your left foot far away from your body to the outside on your backhand on the run. And you're going to plant. Let's take a look at what Rublev does. You're going to plant, pivot your left foot to the left side. Okay. Get your weight on your left leg. If you look here, you can see actually how most of his weight is actually on his left leg. You can see here, only his toe is on the ground. There's basically no weight on his right leg there. Okay? So what you can do is plant the left foot and see what he does. Look, he keeps his eyes looking at contact. And he goes directly rotating through. He's more rotating his body to hit it. But it all starts from planting that left foot on the outside. So replicate that for your game and see how it works. That's actually not a bad error from Rublev. Not a bad error. Okay, we're gonna take a look again. We're gonna analyze this decision here. So, good return by Rublev. Alcaraz did a good pickup there. Remember about the pickup. It's a pick up, not a chip down. Notice how Alcaraz put his racket right on the ground, kept it pretty level, and then just picked the ball up. He's not trying to slice it down. Pay attention to that. A lot of beginners out there, they're trying to slice it with the one hand, like this. Boom, boom. Rookie mistake. That's what scrubs do. Don't be a scrub. Okay? Now, let's analyze Andre Rublev here. Okay, so Alcaraz gave him a pickup, gave him a short ball. Now, Rublev can go down the line or he can go cross court. If you're going to go cross court, you got to rip it big because Alcaraz could totally burn you on that next shot. If you're not 100% certain I can hit a winner cross court and I'm going to hit it that aggressive, you got to go down the line. Let's see what Rublev does. So he goes cross court. He puts Alcaraz in a more defensive position, but Alcaraz gets there. Let's see what happens. So Rublev made a good decision. He said, okay, I'm going cross court. I'm going to hit this ball aggressive enough that it's going to do damage to Alcaraz. And look, it worked. Okay? Those are the factors that you need to analyze for yourself when you get a short ball and you're deciding, do I go cross? Do I go line? Where should I go here? All right? Here's something you can replicate and copy from Carlos Alcaraz on your approach shot on your forehand side. Take a look. It's called holding and waiting into your open stance. Let's check it out. Good first serve. Rublev returns. He pops out into the open stance. Notice how he popped out into the open stance. Let's go back and take a look at that. Gets the serve. Look, he's doing adjustment steps, and now he just pops into the open stance, keeps his weight on his right leg, turns his hips, and rips down the line. Okay? So the lesson there is, in general, especially if you're playing against a good player who's going to return the ball fast to you relatively, okay, you don't have all this time to do all these million adjustment steps and step in close stance. Okay? Maybe at a lower level you do, but at a higher level, you're not going to be able to fucking do that. So what you need to do is focus more so on developing your open stance. And dude, you got to be able to change direction, even on approach shots with an open stance. No matter what any coach tells you, if you can't do that, you're going to be majorly limited at a higher level. Wow, great shot from Rublev though. Look how wide Rublev is standing, okay? Look at his knees, they're far apart, okay? This is something that's within his control. This is also something that's within your control. Look at how you prepare on your returns. Do you take the basic steps and do the basic little things like, let me actually get my legs wider and my knees farther apart? Or are you standing there like a fucking tree? Are you standing there with your feet like this instead of wider? Okay? Get it together. Do the easy shit. All right? Let's go. Okay, so here's a lesson that Rublev can implement here. Okay, so look. When, okay. Okay, so Alcaraz hits a pickup here. Now, Rublev is going to lob him. Now, the mistake on the lob that Rublev makes is he doesn't give it enough juice. He hits it too short. Okay? So look, when you're playing your opponent, they're at the net. Alcaraz is pretty close to the net here. He's really close to the net. Okay? So if you're Rublev, there's a few things he could have done better. Number one is, I would rather him miss it long than give Alcaraz a potential overhead. Okay? he is doing a good thing by going over his backhand side. So even if he hits it shorter, Alcaraz has to do one of these shots to get it back. And that's a difficult shot. So I get why he's going over the backhand side, all right? There's an argument to say the distance of the court is longer cross court. So lobbing cross court in general is probably going to be better for more beginner players, okay? Now, there's more nuance, right? Because this is Alcaraz. Doesn't want to give him the chance to hit a normal overhead. Alcaraz can probably do great adjustment steps moving back to hit a normal overhead if he goes cross here, all right? So the mistake, though, is Rublev, if he's going to miss, he's got to miss it long. Because, look, he's playing right now. You can see the court he's playing on. Dude, there's no height limit. There's no height limit. He could literally hit the ball 1,000 feet in the air, and it could possibly go in, right? So your job as the person who's going to lob your opponent is send that motherfucker up in the air. Send it up in the air. At least you're giving him a difficult shot to track in the air, right? But the best miss is missing it long, okay? You have to think about giving your opponent an overhead the same way like you just hit the ball in the net. Because you didn't do your job of what's within your control, and that's totally within your control. Give it more air, okay? And I'd rather you miss it long than give your opponent an overhead, okay? Let's take a look here. Okay, so here's what Alcaraz actually did wrong here as well, all right, which is interesting. It's just not wrong, it's just something he could have done better in my opinion, all right? Let's take a look. First of all, incredible timing with that pickup. That's really fucking good. Now, here's a game changer for you guys. This is going to help so much, okay? On this volley, okay, the ball's floating in the air from Rublev. Now we're going to talk about from Alcaraz's perspective. Rublev floats the ball in the air. It's very simple. Alcaraz, when he's watching the ball in the air, you have to focus on doing a lot of adjustment steps, probing with that ball in the air, and then, I'll tell you what's next. Wait. Okay, so you see how Alcaraz, okay, he's actually doing a little bit of adjustment steps, but, I'm actually thinking, I want to see this again. It might have been, I'm trying to see if it was better to go down the line here across. So actually, Rublev did a good job here because if you see, he actually anticipated and noticed that Alcaraz was going to go cross here. So yeah, he actually started running before. So he did a good job guessing, okay? If you're Alcaraz, you have to wait, do a lot of adjustment steps, give yourself even more time, okay? The ball's already floating. You don't want to try to take it early, all right? Do more adjustment steps, okay? Wait until Rublev commits. So he's here, the ball's floating, and he could have gone line there as well, but even if he's going to go cross, he should have waited a little bit longer to do the adjustment steps. And the issue with how he struck that ball is he got really on top of it and kind of flicked it down instead of just going through it and kind of like stopping at contact with a strong wrist instead of flopping it down. And you can actually see what happened here was Rublev had so much time because the ball bounced down and it went up in the air, which gave him so much time to prepare. So Rublev goes line, and that's an incredible volley by Alcaraz. That's just insane. That's why he's freaking one of the best players in the world. Really good. He hit his kick serve, okay? Look. Okay, let's talk about the best target to aim for on your kick serve. Most coaches, they're going to teach you to hit the kick serve right here in the corner where the sideline meets the service line. I'm sorry to tell you this, but those coaches are not giving you the real shit, okay? You want to train your kick serves. You want to train your kick serves to aim about halfway in the service box. Look at the sideline right here within the service box. you want to aim for a target. This is for more advanced players, for people who they already have a decent kick serve, but they want to find that next level, right? If you're just learning your kick serve, first learn how to actually hit a proper kick serve with spin, okay? But for this, for more advanced players, for players who already have a kick serve, train a target to be right in the middle here, okay? Halfway in no man's land on that sideline within the service box. Not no man's land, halfway in the service box on the sideline, okay? Now, training this target, you can always hit it here. You can always go with less angle. But just because you can do this deeper kind of target does not mean you're going to have the feel to angle the ball out here, okay? This is the serve that I would use to ace Lulu's son on court with Rick Macy watching, all right? So if it's good enough to do against a top 50 WTA player, you know, as me, I was like a 10 UTR. I'm like a 10 UTR now. So if it's good enough for me, it's probably going to work for you too. It worked against a top 50 WTA player. So look, let's see if Alcaraz can hit the target. Okay, so he hits the serve. It bounces kind of deep here. And it breaks the sideline in this direction, okay? So notice where Rublev is, okay? When you're able to get the ball to land even shorter, all right, you're going to be able to spread your opponent even more wide. Now, the key is you want to find that balance of power and spin and angle and target, right? You don't just want to prioritize power because then you're going to be hitting kick serves directly to the middle to your opponent. They're going to be able to square up and rip it, right? But also if you just hit it super soft but has a good angle, your opponent will also be able to take it early and rip. But you want to find that sweet spot where you're able to hit that ball where it breaks the sideline within the service box, okay? And your opponent is at least at this doubles line here, okay? So when you're starting to develop this, you want to prioritize the feel and the angle and where your opponent returns positioning wise. That should be the priority over your power. Okay? That might be controversial, but that's what I believe. That's what's worked for all of my students and also worked for me personally. So when you're training your kick serves, prioritize training. Say your cone is like normally here. Put the cone shorter. Put the cone shorter. It's going to force you to have to get the ball to go more vertical up here faster. Like imagine there was a wall, right? Like a 10-foot wall that was right here at the service line. And you have to clear that, right? Alcaraz has to clear that and get that ball to go here. Boom, like an arc. Okay? And then you can kind of learn how to manipulate your kick serve to be able to get a little bit more arc and get the ball to dip down more, all right? But this is like advanced kick serve stuff here. So if you're a beginner, focus more so on just developing the feel, the spin, and then worry about your target practice later, okay? But yeah, the best way to learn the kick is to train the out wide serve, training with very short cones. Definitely the best way to train the kick, in my opinion. That was a good target, though. That was the right target to go to for Andre Rublev. Okay. So look. Okay. On this point, you're going to find out why if you in this point you're gonna find out exactly why changing direction down the line too early will burn you and will not work, okay? And we're gonna see this translated strategically even at the highest level, okay? This works for beginners. This also works for advanced players, all right? Take a look. Rublev serves out wide. Alcaraz returns, taking it early cross court. Rublev, Here, positioning wise, is this an aggressive position? Does he have a lot of opportunity to control the rally? Maybe, but let's see what he does. He goes down the line. He goes down the line, but the ball doesn't really damage Alcaraz that much. I mean, I'm pretty confident most top D1 players would be able to get to this ball and rip it cross court and do a lot of damage with their forehand on the run. So if you're Rublev there and you're going down the line, you shouldn't just hit a rally ball down the line. You got to make sure you put that in the corner and really hit it big, okay? But this was an opportunity that he took too early, because look what Alcaraz does. He does what every player should do. Your opponent goes down the line too early, burn them by hitting a big cross-court forehand with a little bit of angle to put them on the run, and oftentimes you can hit a winner on that, okay? So pay attention when your opponent goes down the line too early in the rally, and if they don't do a lot of damage to you with that, get there early, play an open stance, and rip that forehand on the run cross-court for a winner, all right? Try it out. Big serve by Rublev. He finds his forehand. That's another thing you can copy from Andre Rublev. Hit a big first serve. Find your forehand on that next shot. That's what the best college players also do to find that serve plus one combo. Hit a big serve, get a short ball, find your forehand on that first ball. As a general rule, that will help you out. He also keeps his left hand on the racket until it bounces. Not saying you have to do that. I'm just pointing out, this dude does it. This dude does it. That's all I'm saying. Now, look at where Alcaraz is. Rublev can go inside out cross court, or he can go inside in down the line. So he's got to make a decision. Alcaraz is a little bit offset to the ad side. So Rublev has to say, if I can hit a winner, let me go inside out. If not, I'm going to go down the line. So let's see what he does. He goes down the line and he hits a winner. Good decision. Notice again, Alcaraz, same thing Rublev was doing. Knees are wider than the hips, and the feet are basically in line with the knees. Sometimes they might be a little bit more, but usually they're going to be in line with the knees, okay? Wow, it's a good serve. He gets a short ball. Okay, guys, so in this point, we're going to analyze Andre Rublev's decision-making on his approach shot. Let's see if he makes the right decision. Alcaraz hits a good serve. Rublev hits an even better return, getting him on his back foot. So that causes Alcaraz to hit Rublev a short ball. He gets a short ball. He gets his way into it. Now, it's a very simple decision here. If I feel like I can hit a winner cross court, for sure, I believe 99 to 100% I can hit a winner cross court, I'm going to go cross court. If not, I'm going to go down the line. Rublev, here, he believes he can hit a winner cross court. Let's see what he does. Boom. So he goes cross court. And it makes sense because he obviously hit a winner there. You can see it. But he made that decision that, like, I believe I can hit a winner here. So I'm going to go for this shot. So strategically, that was the right move. Okay? It's important to understand, though, the factors that you're weighing and start to realize, wait, what are the patterns that the best players are doing? And this is talking about the basic stuff. Do I go cross? Do I go line? What do I do? But it's even prominent at the higher levels. And most people don't have clarity. They go up and they hit balls and they're like, well, I feel like hitting it down the line here will feel good. I'll feel like I'll be able to hit it better. But once you realize there's actually some rules to this that you can follow to keep it like simple for yourself, it gets a lot better and a lot more fun to play because you actually are playing the right way, right? And you're going to have a lot more success that way too. So it's not a mystery why Rublev went cross court there. There's a rhyme and a reason always. On the slice serve, after you develop proper slice where you can get the ball to bounce and cut out to the side a little bit, okay, and do that consistently, you can generate that type of spin. What you want to do is you want to train with specific targets where you put a cone, okay, not so deep here, not like right at this corner, but a little bit shorter. And then as time goes on, you can eventually get that to be a little bit shorter here, like almost halfway in the box. Okay, now you're going to see Andrei Rublev go serve out wide here, and let's see the target that he hits. So it lands right here, a little bit past halfway within the sideline in the service box. So it bounces, the ball crosses the sideline within the service box, which is an objective goal that you can check for in your match play footage. That's an objective goal that I look for in all my students' match play footage. So I look to see that when they're hitting their slice serve out wide, are they breaking the sideline in the service box? You can copy that, okay? Take that for your players and for yourself if you're a player or a coach. But notice that he hits an ace here, but he hits a big serve. Obviously, he's a top pro player, but what can you replicate for yourself? It's very simple. Train this target. Train that target. And actually put cones to measure it. And then start tracking it. What gets measured gets improved. So ask yourself, are my coaches measuring stuff? Or are they not? Are we training with targets and cones? Or are we not? It's like I'm going to the gun range, and am I just blasting my 50 cal into the air? Or am I aiming at a target? You might be just blasting your 50 cal in the air, which might be fun, but are you getting better from that? Are you improving your aim? Are you going to be better in the battlefield when you got to snipe somebody? Maybe, but probably not, right? So not all practice is created equal. So make sure you actually start measuring some things, and on your slice serve, this is the target to go for, all right? Okay, guys, so look, in that rally, there's a lot of great shots there, right? But what do I want you to take away from this rally here? Take a second. Think about it. What do I want you to take away? Take a guess. Let's watch it again. Alcaraz hits it. The ball clips the net. Andrei Rublev is already sprinting for the ball before it even bounces. So that's not a credit to his speed. That's a credit to what Nadal refers to as having quick eyes. So that first starts with a decision that I'm going to run for every motherfucking ball. Okay? Most people, they practice to let the ball bounce twice. They let the ball hit the net, goes over, they don't fucking run for it. But to build that skill, it all starts with that decision to commit to yourself to run for every fucking ball. If you want to be a good player. If you want to be a shit player, don't do that. All right? But the best thing of this point is the fact that for you to take away is the fact that it clipped the net. He started actually reacting before the ball even bounced. Okay? So take note of that. Apply that. I don't care that he even got to the ball. okay? But I care that he ran for it and he went for it, right? So that's the same thing that you can apply for yourself. Forget about getting to the ball, but try to get faster. Try to actually react and develop quicker eyes. Wow, great feel. Really good feel. Wow. The out wide serves. How many times do I gotta tell you? Okay, let's take a look at this point again. This is a good point. In this video, we're going to break down Andre Rublev's decision when he gets a short ball that's low. Should he go cross court or should he go down the line? We're going to break it down specific to the scenario. Because with strategy, there are great general rules you can follow, but it also depends on the specific scenario and context. So we'll break it down for you. Big serve, okay? Big serve down the tee. Alcaraz blocks it back with a slice. Gives him a really short ball. He basically hits a drop shot off that because he blocked it short because he hit a good serve. Now, if you look at the height of the ball, okay, the ball is being generous around net height, maybe a little bit below by the time he's making contact. Okay, so with that information and the fact that it was really short, he's really moving forward a lot. He has to make a decision. Do I go this direction or do I go across my body this way? Okay. Now, based on the fact that he's in the center of the court, okay, when he's hitting the shot. So let's go back actually. So the ball's right in the middle of the court here, and he can basically go either way. He can go here, down the line. He can go here, cross court. So I would still kind of consider this like either a down the line or like cross court. Okay, technically it's kind of like an inside out forehand, but that's not really too relevant right now. So he's either going to this side or this side. So if you're Rublev, it's like, okay, can I hit a winner going cross court here? Or can I not? And then should I go down the line? So my belief system is that he's deciding to go down the line here because the ball's a little bit lower and it's not that aggressive a position where he can just rip a winner cross, right? This is kind of a tough angle to rip a winner this way. And also Alcaraz is in the middle here. So he's kind of covering the forehand side. So what you want to do is understand that and see why Rublev goes down the line here. So that's why he goes down the line, okay? And then he gets set up for an overhead and he puts the overhead away. That's not because he hit a good overhead. It's because of the decision to go to that particular target and not overcomplicate things. He stuck to the rule. Can I hit a winner cross? No, I'm going to go down the line. More often than not, you're going to see the pros following that rule. It's pretty evident in literally every single video. Again, he's running for it. Again, he went down the line. Was he trying to lob there or what was he trying to do? Let's see. Interesting. Like, I'm curious what he's trying to do there. He's trying to pass him down the line. Seems like he didn't really have awareness of what Alcaraz was doing there. Yeah, so here, I mean, look at where Alcaraz is. He's right here. So Rublev is either going to BM angle cross court, so he can't reach it and cover, because Alcaraz will still be able to cover about 75% of the court until here. But if Rublev just does a short angle over here, it's going to be very difficult for Alcaraz. If I were Rublev, I would try to aim right over here, right over here, right over here. Or lob down the line, or lob cross court. Because the lob is a great shot. Because there's no height limit. You can hit as high as you want. So it's impossible for your opponent to overhead it. Right? Especially outdoors. Right? So with the lob, you should prioritize height over anything. Height, height, height. And obviously, you don't want it to be short. You want it to be deep. But height usually will contribute to that. Again, the slice serve out wide. Breaking the sideline within the service box. Notice how most of the aces hit that benchmark. Maybe take note of it. Maybe apply that for your own game. See that? Good decision by Rublev going cross there. Notice how Rublev is really minimizing his preparation when Alcaraz rips the ball big. He's not trying to say, okay, I'm going to load up and crush the ball. He can still hit it good, but he's simplifying his stroke. Look, look, look. He literally sets his arm to the side. He literally sets his arm to the side and just goes forward. He's not doing a big take back. He's not doing a big take back at all. And that's very useful when you have balls with a lot of pace coming at you. When the ball's slower and you have to create pace, that can be harder to generate pace from, unless you do a lot from your legs. But for beginners, mainly use that strategy when the ball comes at you with a lot of pace, because you can use their power so you don't really have to create it yourself. All right, that's when that particular thing makes sense. Alcaraz has his left hand on the racket until the ball bounces. You can do this to stay more connected on your ground stroke and make a more repeatable and consistent setup and preparation on the forehand. Most people, they don't actually get set on the forehand. Ask your coach, do I get set on my forehand? Or do I just disconnect and throw my right arm around like I'm a cowboy in Texas? Right? Ask your coach that and see. And see if they even know what that is. Getting set. What do you mean getting set? Okay? Getting into a repeatable position where you're set. So whenever you want to pull the trigger, you can repeat the same thing time and time again. That's how you're going to create more consistency. So make sure you know how to get set on your ground strokes. On the forehand, it looks like this position here that Alcaraz is doing, okay, where his left hand's on the throat of the racket until it bounces. He's getting set here. We can talk about the other components on the forehand. But basically, the left arm is parallel with the baseline, and his left hand is still attached to the racket, okay? Those are like very basic checkpoints to know if you're getting set, okay? On the backhand, it's going to look like getting the edge of the racket. If you're looking from a front angle, you want to set the edge of the racket like this. You don't want to see the strings when you're preparing on the backhand, okay? And the shoulder blade, you also know you're getting set correctly if your left shoulder blade on the forehand is facing forward. So Rublev can actually see Alcaraz's shoulder blade on his left side there, and maybe almost see some of his back. So that's how you know you're getting set on your forehand. And check with your coach to see if you're doing it or not. Really good job going open stance, stepping, taking a step forward with the right foot, hitting, planting on the left after. Very good. Very good. Let's do one more point. Wow. Notice, getting set on your backhand. Alcaraz, let's see what I just said before. What did I say? Your shoulder blade is turned, so this is a backhand, so his right shoulder blade is facing his opponent. He's doing it. His back is facing his opponent. He's doing it. His edge of his racket here is facing his opponent. He's doing it. He's hitting the checkpoints. So you can either make a decision right now. Do I want to hit the checkpoints too? Or am I okay with not optimizing my technique? You don't have to. You can master garbage technique. You can do that. But my belief is it's a worthwhile investment if you actually care about tennis long term and you want to still play the game and be around the game and be better at the game. Why don't you optimize your technique so you can hit the ball with more power, with more control, with more consistency? Like, why not do that? Right? So all I'm saying here is Alcaraz is hitting these checkpoints. He's getting set. This is what getting set looks like. His right elbow is straight. Look at his right elbow. Left elbow is a little bit bent. But these are the checkpoints that you'll see on biomechanically efficient backhands. Okay? That was good. That was good. Okay, guys, that's it for this video. I'll see you guys in the next one. Like, comment, subscribe if you got any value out of this. And I hope you have an amazing rest of your day. Take care. I'll see you in the next one.